The first one, which you made a video on, so I don't want to go too in depth, but we got Thiago Moises, Islam Makhachev. I love this fight. I love this fight so much. I'm sure we'll talk more on Monday, but I think that this fight is a tougher test than the Drew Dober fight. I still think Islam will get it done. I think Islam is that good. I needed to see Islam again. Like, it was like one of those things we hadn't seen him in a while. I just needed to be refreshed on how dominant he is. The Drew Dober fight definitely proved that, because Drew Dober is no slouch. But I am crazy high on Thiago Moises. The dude is super young. He's got his wins have been pretty impressive. I do think this is a massive step for him. So I don't know how well he'll fare. He does have a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, doesn't use it at all. He definitely just stands and strikes. And Islam is just so strong, dude. He's so strong. He's going to be taller. I really love this fight. I think that it's another tough test. Those of you that have watched Thiago Moises over the last year, you've seen how well he's looked. So I think that this fight is almost tougher than the Drew Dober fight. I think at this point in their careers, I think I'm higher on Thiago Moises than I am Drew Dober. So I think that this is a tougher fight for Islam, but I still don't think it's going to be that tough. I think Islam is that guy that after this, it sucks. I feel like a lot of people in the top of the division are ducking him. Like I'm convinced at this point, and it's like these are the guys that he's getting. I'm not saying stuck with, because I think Thiago Moises is good, but it's like everyone wants Islam at this point to fight the top guys, but the top guys are like, is Islam ranked yet? Is he in the top 15 yet?
I'm not sure. He's meant to be fighting only ranked fighters now, which is why this fight upsets me.
Yeah, well, that's what sucks, is it's like the ranked guys don't want to fight the unranked guys. But then, like, how do you get in the top 15 if you're not, like, it sucks for Islam. And I wanted him to fight. Was it RDA was floated around for a little bit?
So RDA was offered the fight, and he
said
declined
no,
it because it does nothing for RDA. But
RDA is one loss away. He's one loss away, though, from being completely, like, never sniffing a belt again.
Oh, he won't sniff a belt again.
I know. But in his eyes, yes, he's like,
he's
if I lose again, I'm done.
Yes. If you beat RDA, you're an elite. You're an elite in that level. That's the way I'm looking at it. Islam Makhachev wanted to fight him. And he also called out Paul Felder. That one he's upset about, but that doesn't. I don't understand. I agree with Paul Felder on this, which was it'd be pointless for him to take it because it does nothing. He's going to be only doing fun fights from now on. He knows he's not going to get to a belt. He's got a nice cushy job as a commentator. He's a fucking good commentator as well. He's really nice at it.
Paul Felder, top 2 favorite fighter ever. Love Paul Felder.
He's amazing. And Islam now is, if he's not RDA, I think he ranked 7th or 8th. So if when Islam beats RDA, it would be jumps past that. So now he's entering the elite level. He's entering the poor. He's getting to that level. The Khabib 2.0. Soon to be Islam 1.0 in my head. He's still like a miniature Khabib right now. He's not quite even as good as Khabib, in his earlier part for me, which shows how good he still is and how much he develops and how persistent his cardio against was Drew Dober, how he dismantled him over 3 rounds and wore him down, and Drew had nothing left and eventually just ended up submitting. I think it's going to be exactly the same with Moises. I'm so impressed with Moises lately, and especially how active he is. He seems to be on every other card, which is great. I love Thiago Moises, which is why I'm unhappy about this, because it's going to stint him.
Yep.
If he beats Islam, which I really don't think is going to happen, because Islam's not even going to touch him on the feet. He's got Khabib in his corner. Yeah. Khabib will say one thing in Russian, which means grab his fucking legs.
yeah.
And that's it. And then it's game over, because I don't care how good your jiu-jitsu is. Everyone said that. Oh, but they've got jiu-jitsu and blah, blah, blah against Khabib. It's almost a Dan Severn approach, or, when your wrestling is that good and you can just hold someone.
Yes.
If you've gone to jiu-jitsu classes and you've ever gone against a judoka who can just, as in white belt level, for instance, like you're a white belt and a white belt, but if you put it to black belt and black belt are the same thing, when they do one thing to you, you're just stuck. And that's all it do. He doesn't have to progress. He doesn't have to advance. He doesn't have to try and finish, even though he will. He can just hold you and win. And that might be how he does it. You can't dodge Islam, because eventually, if RDA says no next time, they'll just put him against someone who's ranked 4, and RDA will go, wait, what about me? And you'll just get ignored down.
He'll just keep moving down the ranks.
They'll just swap him. They'll just swap him because he's active. He wants to fight, and that's what Dana wants. He wants he would love another Khabib up there, because Khabib's then back in the limelight, and it might, Khabib could come back and all that sort of thing can come back into it, and super fights come out again. And no, I absolutely love the fight, but I hate it for Thiago because I love him as well.
Yeah,
I like both guys in this, but as someone that was so not against Khabib, but I always wanted to see him lose, because I made a video. I always wanted to see someone crack his puzzle, solve the puzzle, and no one did. I always bet against him. Everybody, Barboza, from Gaethje to Conor to whoever, Poirier, whatever, always bet against him, and I always lost. So now with Islam, all my eggs are in his basket.
You don't want to see him lose. Well, he's already lost, but we don't want to see him lose again.
I want to see I think he'll be 2022 champion. I'd buy his, stocks in his whatever he wants. I got his t-shirts. I'm Islam #1 fan right now, so I don't want to see Moises lose, but I definitely don't want to see Islam lose.
I was definitely a guy that was against Khabib forever, and then I was just like, why am I against Khabib? Like, I'm watching greatness right now. Like, I'm just gonna enjoy this while we have it. And he could easily fight for another 10 years, especially with the way he fights. Khabib didn't have to retire, but that's just how good he is. It's just there's no one and it now paves the way for Islam with him retiring. Now paves the way for Islam to go get that belt. And I totally agree with you. The wrestling, you can be the best striker in the world. You can be the best Brazilian jiu-jitsu in the world. But when someone is so physically strong that they can just get you to the ground, and then
it's
you just
exactly the same as Khabib's grappling.
Yes.
It's the tie up with the legs. It's the shoulder pressure. It's the Dagestani handcuff. It's everything is mimicked by Khabib. Like he is Khabib 2.0, or he will be, because he's not quite Khabib 1.0 yet. If that makes sense.
No, I agree. But like when someone is that strong, that's kind of where we go back to the main event today. Like Michael Chandler is going to be so much physically stronger than Charles Oliveira. I think that I don't even think that there's going to be a lot of wrestling involved, if I'm being honest with you. But like if Chandler was to get the fight to the ground or whatever, like if he's in top position, Charles Oliveira is not moving. And it's the same thing with Islam and Khabib. Like these guys are just so physically strong with such good wrestling that once you're there, you cannot move. Like that's it. Like you're ridden to the canvas and you're not moving until either the round's over or you get finished. And it's just people that are casuals will say this is boring, this sucks, but like it is crazy. Just they look the same. They look to be the same size. They looked at times Khabib looked to be smaller. He looked to be not the stronger guy, but he's so physically strong and so good at wrestling that it's just insane. And I agree with you. It sucks for Thiago Moises, who's a guy that I still think he has a lot of growing to do. There's still I think he fights very flat-footed, which I don't like.
He's 26 years old.
So young yet. And now like you're going to throw him up against Islam, who I think the majority of people are going to say Islam should handily win that fight. Now Thiago, where's Thiago go? Like, I mean, granted, even though Islam is not ranked, to the people that like Dana, Islam
to hardcores, we know he's ranked.
Yeah,
we know
he's ranked.
10 people.
So, I mean, I'm not going to say it's terrible for Thiago, but like, I don't know. The rankings are all bullshit.
This does nothing for Islam, in my opinion.
No,
other than keeping him active and getting a paycheck, it does nothing for it. I
agree. It just sucks for both guys, really, because Islam's a guy that definitely deserves to fight top tier talent, and it sucks for Thiago because he is young. I think he needs to grow a little bit, and just now you're going to get a loss on your record that really didn't have to be there. I think that it's something that they could have easily avoided. There's more fights out there for Thiago. There's not many.
Unless Thiago calls it out and we just miss it. We don't have that, that
which he does talk shit too, which I love. Yeah. He does talk shit.
So it could be a Thiago point. But also to the fact of I get a lot of comments based on strength, and as someone that does train, if anyone's but technique always beats strength. Ask Justin Gaethje how strong Khabib was, because the one thing he said is when he grabbed my arm, I couldn't move my body. Like his whole body shut down when Khabib just grabbed his arm. Like Cormier says he gets manhandled sometimes, but like he manhandles Luke Rockhold. Like some people are just on another planet,